Hi, I'm Kevin Hogan, Senior Design Manager at Capital Group.
Hi, I'm Karl Wootton from Australian Waterproofing Consultants, Senior Technical Consultant.
I get hit with this an awful lot from construction teams. Well, surely concrete is, I'm hearing, is waterproof. Why is it I need to put a application on top of a concrete surface?
Well, concrete is inherently porous, so it's going to absorb water, it's going to absorb moisture. And then we start to get corrosion issues and long-term corrosion of the steel and so on and so forth. And so our membrane system is going to be able to be applied to this crack and provide long-term protection.
So one of the big things we always find challenging in construction is stuff like movement joints, expansion joints, and how the membrane system how do they cope with it? How do we mitigate them from cracking and moving along with the building?
Correct, and that really comes back to design, and it comes back to really understanding how the building is going to move. And the only person that really can tell us that in the design phase is the engineers. We also need that system to cope with long-term movement and the cyclical movement that does occur.
So what's the purpose of this?
And what we're looking at here is essentially something that will divert water away from the plinth and take that water directly to the point of discharge. But if you've got large areas of water ponding, we don't want that, because that will accumulate dust and dirt and all those other debris that can deteriorate the membrane over time.
Yeah. And so obviously here the plan is the water will come across. Now water needs to make it off the edge of the building.
It's nice to see we've got nice, good, wide, deep gutters, and I can see the use of the siphonic systems there as well.
Okay, so another area of contention is where we find a lot of, issues, and we focus a lot of energies like internal spaces, like wet areas, like bathrooms.
Well, most often what we're finding is internal shower enclosures that are leaking. And water stops are there to prevent water spilling across the top of tiles, but they're also there to prevent water being transferred between the tile bed and the substrate. And there seems to be a bit of a lack of coordination, a lack of understanding of whose responsibility is to install that water stop and how that water stop should be detailed.
One of the absolute biggest issues we're finding in the construction industry is waterproofing. I say it's a killer of all beautiful projects, because it can create a range of things like fungus, mold inside the building. It can rot your timbers. It can become hazards.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And it's really education. It starts at that very initial design phase.